All right, I'm finishing up my dinner. This is our fourth session on true Christian service, and today we're going to be talking about godly character. And godly character, true godly character, flows from a real relationship with Jesus Christ. It's the fruit of that relationship because God is at work in us, changing us on the inside, not just changing our appearance or our behaviors, but changing who we are. And as it's so well been said, character is what you are when nobody's looking. And I thought today we would start out in 1 Timothy. This is Paul, an older pastor, writing to a younger pastor. And he's talking about the qualifications for deacons. And deacons in the Greek is essentially servant. And he gives him some great advice, and I think we should just use that as a jumping off point today. He starts out, he says, the same goes for those who want to be servants in the church. Not deceitful, not too free with the bottle, not in it for what they can get out of it. They must be reverent before the mystery of faith, not using their position to try to run things. See, that's a person of character, a true servant. In other words, they're not doing the political thing. They're not doing the power play. They're not trying to use their position to gain an advantage for themselves. Their sole purpose as a person of character is to serve people. Paul goes on to write, let them prove themselves first. If they show they can do it, take them on. I love this. This basically says before anyone's put in any kind of leadership position or a place of service to other people, they got to prove themselves. They got to show that they got the goods. Here essentially he's echoing what Jesus Christ said when he's speaking of the kingdom. He says, when you've been faithful with that which is least, I'll make you faithful over that which is much. And I think that's one of the things we so misunderstand. We see somebody, some young minister, some young worker in the church on fire, for God, wanting to see things happen, and immediately we want to put them in a position. We want to give them a job, give them responsibility, and they have yet to prove themselves. Character is something that will be gained over time. Character is something that takes time to possess. It takes time to prove that you have it. And that's why essentially Paul's saying, give these people time to prove themselves. He goes on to say, he says, does make no exception for women, same qualifications. Serious, dependable, not sharp-tongued, not over fond of wine. Servants in the church must be, and again, this is an expression of character. In other words, Paul is going to get into the servant or the worker's private life. And he's going to say here, your private life will show a great deal what your ministry life will be like. And he says, this of these servants, he says that they are committed to their spouse, attentive to their children, and diligent to look after their own affairs. Essentially, Paul is saying people who are true servants, people who have good character within the church and serve the church well, these people are going to show that character in the way they treat their families, in the way they take care of their own affairs. And it has been so horrible to watch so many ministers in the public eye take on the position of leadership and neglect their families. It shows a lack of character. And this is one of the things that we have to look at when we're looking at people to serve in the church. Have they been faithful in the small things? Is that character flowing from a real and dynamic relationship with Jesus Christ? Can we trust them? Have they proved themselves? What are they like when nobody's looking? Are they faithful towards their families? Are they faithful in their jobs, their secular work? Are they faithful in taking care of their own affairs and business? Are they faithful with their finances? Character is seen in all those aspects of life. And true Christian service requires that we be people of character, not only within the walls of the church, but in every aspect of our life. Thanks. God bless.